Die, fly. Hi again, everyone. Scott Player, pop cult fan here, and in this video, I want to review The Fly, which is a movie I just rewatched just the other day. And, this is a movie that, in my opinion, I actually like more than John Carpenter's The Thing, because both are body horror, right? And I like this one more, mainly because you have Jeff Goldblum in the lead, you have Gina Davis, and what makes this movie more investing to me is actually the romance between Jeff Goldblum's character of Seth and Gina Davis's character of what's her name? Veronica, I think that's her character's name in the movie. But I really like that love story there between the two of them throughout the film. And as the story goes, Seth, he's an inventor. He's trying to create the ability to teleport, right? He has these telepods, and at first he's teleporting inanimate objects, and that works out, right? And then he starts to teleport living things. He teleported a baboon, and that didn't work out, did it? And eventually, once he starts to figure that out, he teleports himself. But there's an issue. A fly goes into this machine with him, and there's this concept that I really like in movies and TV shows and in video games, because I've seen it in Pokemon as well. The idea of fusion, gene splicing, two things sort of melding together, that kind of concept. I've seen it before in other movies and shows and video games, as I've mentioned, and that's where this story really starts to unfold. And this is where the body horror of it all really kicks in, as he's fused with this fly, right? And you see him changing, like physically, and he starts changing, not just physically but mentally too. It's changing his relationship with Veronica, and it's just so fascinating the way that is handled. And also, I like how he inhibits abilities that flies do, like climbing up walls or ceilings, because flies can do that, just like spiders can, and ants as well. And it's just really interesting because you're seeing how he's changing, and that can really it can just be horrific because he is changing and becoming deformed, and that is a very disturbing thing to see. And you're seeing him changing, like his attitude and the things that he's doing when he's not with Veronica, and it's just really interesting in a way that it's disturbing. And that's what I like about this movie, because the whole thing with the body horror, another example of this is The Expecting, which I did a review for like a year or two ago with Sophia Robb, and that had something kind of similar. Body horror, I think that's a subgenre. I think it is, because The Thing with John Carpenter, there's this movie, The Fly, The Expecting. That's a subgenre, right? I believe it is. And I just think that, through this movie has some of the best makeup effects in regards to eventually, once he starts to resemble this, I don't know, like mutated human with all this other stuff on him. I don't even know what is on him, but it's like extra skin, and gets all grotesque and just and it's just so disturbing. And then also, when you get to the third act, Gina Davis's character Veronica, she's in a difficult situation where she doesn't want to do what she's gonna have to do, but she I mean, I don't want to spoil it for those of you that haven't seen it, but this is a movie that came out in the 1980s. Granted, like I was saying before, I don't see this movie getting talked about much. Howard Shore did the score for this movie. Howard Shore. This was a great score too. I love the score, and I think it's just a very solid film overall. Very solid, and in regards to like criticisms or flaws, like I don't have many really. Like I just think that this is a very, very good film, and I just like how also there's this one other character who he was like Veronica's ex-boyfriend, but he was also the editor of the a newspaper that she was reporting for, because she was a journalist, right? She was a journalist, and initially when she was talking to Seth, she was just talking to Seth for a story, and that's the more Seth and Veronica started to get to know each other, the closer they got, and I think that was a very interesting way of telling this romance story, and then it ends tragically by the end of it, and overall it's a great film. And some of the best makeup effects. Was it Rick Baker? I know Rick Baker did American Werewolf in London. I can't. I'm not sure, but yeah, great film. I definitely give this an A, and that should be my review for The Fly, which came out in 1986. And my next video will be for An American Werewolf in London tomorrow, so look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Boo, bye.